All right, Steve, you're on with Emmanuel.
El Matador Emmanuel Sanchez, Steve Jewin from MMA Mania again. It's always a pleasure. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling excellent, my friend. How you doing?
I'm feeling great as well, and I'm really stoked because you've got this long-awaited rematch, 4 years in the making, coming up with Daniel Weichel. So, how are the preparations going?
Incredible. I'm in a completely different state of mind, state of my spirit, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It just in every which way. From when the first time that I locked horns with him, and I knew, man, how much of a big fight it was for me back then. But now it's even better now because we're on such a bigger platform, and the stakes are so much bigger. And for me, when the stakes are so much bigger, that's for me, there's like no pressure. That just means I have more of an opportunity to perform, and that's when honestly I perform my best because pressure does two things, man. It crushes cans and it makes diamonds. So it's my time to shine.
Well, I'm sure it's going to make a diamond out of this fight, but the pressure has also been on for 6 months by the time this fight takes place. Is that too long between fights, or is it just the right amount of time to prepare for a fight like this?
A little bit, I'm a young guy, and you look at my Bellator tenure and my history, I'm a guy who likes to stay busy and stay active and fight as frequently as possible. But I have already. I've already established myself as one of those guys that's done that. But while I'm obviously still young and still healthy, I do, I love to fight more. But I guess those circumstances were out of my control. So all I know is that I got the fight I wanted. I got the opponent that I wanted, and it's my first time going to the Mohegan Sun. So I'm excited for this opportunity and everything that is coming along with it. So it's been quite some time, but it's good because that also has allowed me to recuperate a little more in between my training sessions and between just training in general. Because I'm a guy who never really leaves the gym. Just throughout the year, I'm always consistently training. And 7 days a week too. I'm a guy who really doesn't take a lot of breaks too throughout the week. So having this much time in between fights, it's done me a great service because now it's just made me hungrier and ready to fight. And it's almost like, all right, let the dog off the leash and let him go have some fun now. Now there's no holding me back.
Well, when you said this is the fight you literally wanted, you're not exaggerating because I remember all the way back at the Bellator 228 selection show, you said this is a fight that you wanted to get back, and that's why you wanted this bracket. That's why you wanted this matchup. You were determined to prove that last fight was a fluke. So, first of all, what went wrong in that last fight that it went to a split decision? Second of all, what will you change in this rematch?
What will I change is finishing the fight, that's for sure. Daniel Weichel will be done in one at the Mohegan Sun, that's for sure. You can believe that. But, I was 25 when I fought him, man. I was 25, and to me, at the time, that had been the biggest fight for me with everything that was on the line because he had just fought for the world title. He had, one punch away, he would have been world champion. And for me, fighting a guy who had just fought for the title outside of Pat Curran, who was the title holder, I knew that I'm fighting the best now. So for me, I had just re-signed a new deal. Bellator had really, reinvested in me after I had already coming off a win streak after losing to Curran. I knew, okay, I'm seen as not necessarily a star, as one would say, and I know, I guess one consider a star, but a top fighter. So I knew a top fighter that they invested in, and one who I wanted to prove that I was ready to fight for the title as well too, considering I was fighting a man who just recently fought for the title. So I knew I wanted to go out there and make a statement, and I believe I, did good. And for me now, how I live now, good isn't good enough. So yeah, it was a good performance, which I believe I won, but I didn't. I didn't get my hand raised. I have an L on my record, and I want nothing more than to get this win back, and nothing would satisfy me more than putting Daniel Weichel away. So that's exactly what I'm going to go out there and go do, is to knock this man out or submit this man or TKO this man. And in every way possible, I'm looking to go out and put this man away and get that victory back because I know that I can. I know that I have the potential to do so. I just did not show it in 2016 when I was, I guess, still up and coming and not necessarily didn't believe in myself. I'd say I believed in myself to the fullest, and I felt myself in the whole fight at the time what I thought was my best. But seeing where I'm at now and the caliber of fighters that I've beat or faced already since then, now that I really truly know my true potential. I know what lies in me, and I think what has allowed me to grow is actually losing. You know, the character, the suffering that's built character, wisdom, experience, and losing has really taught me a lot. I've learned a lot in wins, but you learn a lot more from your losses. So I've had to take that and use it as good, use it as motivation, and I think I've done that in these past couple fights that we've seen. And now I get to go out there and put it on this man and prove why I'm better than this man, and go out and win this Grand Prix.
Well, I think you've said it already, but I'll say it too. Nobody should be hating on you for those losses because not only did they build character, but they showed the quality of opponents you faced because the guys you've lost to in Bellator are all number one contenders or world champions. So you're only losing at the very top, and now you might be getting back to that top again if you go all the way through this tournament. But Daniel Weichel has the exact same goal. You've both faced Pitbull before, and you both want to face him again. So that's a different kind of pressure even than knowing that you're facing one of the best. Now you're both vying to face the best.
Absolutely. And he's already had his chance twice, and he's proven that. Okay, he was almost there the second time. I don't want to diss anybody, but I'm going to call it what it is. It was boring as hell, and I was going to be ready in case anyone got hurt for that fight after I had beaten Sam Sicilia in 2018. And I wasn't necessarily hoping for it, but I was just staying ready just in case, because people did get hurt the second time that they were rescheduled to fight in Israel, but they got rescheduled to fight in Italy. And I was staying ready just in case, but my eyes obviously were on that fight. And, Pitbull came on top. I don't think it was close at all. I think Pitbull dominated. And obviously I have lost to Pitbull too. I believe my fight was better than Pitbull because I came near finishing him not just more than one time, I guess, in that whole fight, but I sent him to the hospital. And Daniel just almost nearly finished him in one round, but then got finished. And in the second fight, didn't really do anything. So I'm really going to go out there to go prove on why not only I'm the best featherweight in the division, but throughout this whole Grand Prix, out of the final six now, after it'll be this final four, but that why I'm the top and why I'm going to go out there and be victorious and win this whole thing.
Emmanuel, between you and me, this whole coronavirus situation that's blown up in the media is entirely overrated. I think there's a lot of fear mongering and panic going on out there, but you're in a full contact physical sport where even in training, you're getting very sweaty and getting in close contact with a lot of people. Has any of that crossed your mind at all as you lead up to this rematch?
Not at all. I think, like you said, it's overrated, and for me, it's kind of pure poppycock. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of hullabaloo. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I'm just a man who really fears nothing. So, I mean, you go back all these years when anthrax was a big thing, when swine flu was a big thing, when all this stuff was such a big thing. And at the time, too, I wasn't traveling that much outside of the United States. And now that I am, or have recently, or just in general, traveled from state to state in the States, I have no fear. And I'm a person who takes very good care of myself, with vitamins, minerals, training, very holistic as well, too. So, I like to make sure I put nothing but good things in my body, except for after a fight, nothing but, pizza and good food. But outside of that, nah, and also I don't even drink alcohol, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But yeah, there's no fear or no worry from me with that. But my coaches just came from, New Zealand and Canada or any of these other places that they've flown across, the States or around the world. and they have had no fear, no issues. So yeah, I think we're all good here.
I'm glad to hear that, and I think it's right way to be anyway, because I think the disease is really only affecting those that have underlying health conditions or maybe elderly and infirm to begin with. So somebody young and physically in their prime like you, nothing to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's anything to worry about at all for me.
Let me ask you a completely different question, Emmanuel, because we always talk about your opponents and your upcoming fights, but I want you to look back on your past for just a second and tell me what's the weirdest or most ridiculous trash talking you've ever heard during a fight from an opponent?
Um, I haven't really had any. I think I gotta say I haven't really had any other than and I remember fighting's a pretty intimate thing, so I remember all my opponents and their faces and the good and bad that's happened to me, I guess, in fights. But I think I'd have to go all the way back to my pro debut. Really, my pro debut, I was elbowing a guy uh, from the bottom, and I didn't cut him, but I was still elbowing him pretty good. I ended up cutting him eventually, but in the first round, he was trash talking me, saying, "Is that all I got? Is that all I got?" And it kind of made me giggle because I'm like, "Well, man, I just had back control, back control. Like, you're gonna say this now in the last 10 seconds of the round, and I'm still kind of hitting you more than you're hitting me, and you're on top of me. Like, I'm on bottom guard, and I'm still elbowing you, and you're gonna trash to me now." So it really kind of just gave me a power shot to just kind of giggle and just be like, "All right, more of an ass whooping is coming for you, so don't worry about that. But I know this round is mine anyway." So, but for the most part, yeah, I'd have to say that was. That was about the only one there though so far.
So that would have been your fight with Matt Church then?
Yeah, all the way going back to 2011. Yeah.
Damn. Well, I guess you were the winner more than just of that fight. You were the winner over the long haul because where's Matt Church now? I mean, other than being your first opponent, that may be the only thing he's famous for.
Yeah, quite possibly. Even going back to my first loss, I'm not a man who hates or puts another man down sometimes. Well, look, I mean, Pitbull's got a win over me, and he went on to go and defeat Michael Chandler, so he's a champ, and Weichel's got a win over me, and look, he went on to go and get another shot at the title, and Kern's got a win over me, but look, he's out of the Grand Prix now, so I mean, I hold no hatred or animosity to these guys, but looking back to any of these guys that I've beat or that have beaten me, I just go and look at my goals and my aspirations were always this. Is always like, okay, they might have beat me today, or today might be their day, but in the long run, I'm going to overcome this all. So that's what I'm looking to do in this Grand Prix. Is 2016, Weichel got a win over me, but now, since when I knew he was going to be in this Grand Prix again, I saw him. I knew I wanted that ass again. So now I have this opportunity. So now I'm going to do something bigger. Not only am I going to get a win over him, but I'm going to go out and win this Grand Prix as well too, and I'm going to get the title that he couldn't get. So, and on this same night, if it's Patricio Pitbull or Pedro Carvalho, doesn't matter. I'm going to go out and be this Grand Prix winner. So I'm going to go out and look to win something bigger than that they had over me, in Israel or in Kansas. So that's exactly what I'm looking to go out and do.
All right, Emmanuel, as we near the end here, it's been fun as always, but here's a quick thought as we wrap it up. Everybody knows, you know as well as I do, that Daniel Weichel gets called Drake because of the physical similarity of his appearance. So if he comes out to one of Drake's songs, what are you going to come out to here at Bellator 241?
I don't know. I don't think Jake's got a lot of enemies or anything like that, but I've never really heard anybody really diss Drake, but
Oh,
uh,
I have.
I'm just gonna call on, yeah, right. You have, I don't know, yeah, I don't listen to like a lot of other rap music, and I just honestly, I remember old Drake, really. I mean, of course, I've heard new Drake and Drizzy Drake and what have he's become over these years and the time, but I still remember Drake from what is it? People say Degrassi and Baby, You the Fucking Best or something like that, right?
Right.
And Just Hold On, We're Going Home. I don't see Drake as a rapper. I see Drake as more of a love song hip hop artist, I guess, or pop R&B maybe. I don't know what you would call it, but the man can rap. But I just kind of see him more as just a singer and lyricist, whatever. But I don't know. For me, I still just see Daniel Weichel as a fake Drake, so that's where I'm going to keep it at that. And I just keep it as my songs. And hey, man, I'm glad the world gets to see it now that we get to walk out the ramp and in a big arena. Because the first time I fought him in the boonies of Kansas, neither they didn't play our walkout songs. They walked us out both in the dark. We were in the dark for about 5 to 10 minutes because we were the first fight on the main card back when it was Spike, and everyone just saw us in the cage. And I got to tell you, like I said, for me it didn't matter. It's the fight's the fight, but throughout the whole time looking at him, I knew that I had this man in the fight. I felt like I had this man. All my strikes, I just knew that I was getting the better of this man. And at the time, like I said, I was 25 years old. I felt like it was the best weight cut, the best training, the best everything in my mind that I'm ready to beat this man. I'm ready to go out and prove that I can fight for the world title and I can be a title contender, world champion, etc. And I didn't get my hand raised. And honestly, looking back at it now, I've told other people that I'm glad I lost that fight. And it's fine. Some people don't even know or remember that we fought previously, and that's fine because now I get to rewrite and make my own history now. It's going to be, we're on a much bigger platform. The stakes are much bigger being in this Grand Prix, and I'm most definitely looking to go out there and finish Daniel Weichel.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding when you say that the Kansas Star Arena is in the middle of nowhere. I've been there several times, and it's like the arena and
Oh,
nothing
great,
else
yeah. So
for
you know
miles.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Indeed. But I'll just close by saying if you want any suggestions for people who have beef with Drake, I can name three off the top of my head: Kanye West, Meek Mill, and Joe Budden. So those are all possibilities.
Oh, nice. All right, excellent. Well, we'll see what's up then. I'll see what.
Yeah, we'll see what happens come 241. But before that, give me your plugs as always, and thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you very much. Everyone can just catch me at Matador Sanchez on Instagram, at El Matador 145 on Twitter. Catch me at El Matador Sanchez, Emmanuel Sanchez for my Facebook fan page. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to tune in on the zone. Daniel Weichel will be done in one at the Mohegan Sun at Bellator 241. So it's time. It's time to shine. Precious cans and makes diamonds. So it's most definitely my time to shine. And I'm excited to go show up and show out and show the world why I'm the best without a doubt.
Done in one at the Mohegan Sun at Bellator 241. You're rapping more than Drake does these days.
Yeah, there you go. So see, time to smash this fake Drake. Make it happen.
All right. Emmanuel, it's always so much fun to talk to you. Thank you, and have a great fight here at Bellator at the Mohegan Sun.
Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate it. You have a great day.
You too.